All right. So I'm ready when you are to begin. You can hit record.
Wait, is there still supposed to be music playing right now?
Yeah, can you hear it or no?
No, it cut out. I could hear it for a second.
What about now?
No.
No, okay. I find music with the Zoom is challenging.
Yeah, because it's trying to choose your voice over the music, probably.
We'll just go with no music.
Okay, sounds good.
I will adjust. All right. So welcome to Unicorn Yoga. My name is Natasha McCagg. I just want to thank you all for joining this practice. Just a little note about some things that you can gather in your room or in your home for the practice today. So you might want to have a blanket handy for the Shavasana, which is our final resting pose at the end of today's practice. And if you're in a sunny space like me, you might want to have something to cover your eyes. So this is one of my daughter's little sleep masks. Or if you have a yoga eye pillow, or even just a tissue or a face cloth, just something to block the light out from the eyes. Those can be really nice to have. And because it is yoga inspired by unicorns, if you happen to have a little yoga stuffed animal or toy that you'd like to bring and place close to you, that can be really fun to do as well. So to begin, we'll sit comfortably. So taking whatever pose is comfortable for your body this morning. So today I'm sitting on this beautiful mandala cushion. You can sit on a pillow or a blanket, or you can just sit directly on the ground, whatever is comfortable for you. And just bring your hands together, fingers nesting, and just allow them to come and sit in your lap. And we're just going to take a few moments to tune into our breath. So inhale, in through your nose. And exhale, out through your nose. You can begin to close your eyes or just soften your gaze and perhaps look down at your yoga mat or the floor or your little unicorn friend if you have one close by. Just hang out here for 5 more breaths. Inhale, feeling your belly and chest expand. And exhale your day. Inhale energy. And exhaling any tension or stress from your body. 3 more breaths here. Last breath, inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Gently blinking your eyes open. Lovely. So I have Pete the Cat's Groovy Guide to Life, and I'm pulling from it an inspiration for the quote. And I opened it randomly this morning while I was setting up for today's practice. And this is the quote that the book opened to. This is by Henry Ford, who, of course, is the inventor of all of the Ford vehicles and the person behind Ford. And he says, when everything seems to be going against you, remember that an airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. And Pete the Cat says, groovy, if you try, you can fly. And I just thought that that was a really powerful quote to begin today's children's yoga class, both because it's inspired by like a magical, mythical creature, the unicorn, but also because we're dealing with so many unique challenges that can be stressful and can cause a lot of big emotions like anxiety and depression. But there's also a lot of opportunity in these times of being home. There's opportunities to be more creative and opportunities to spend more time outside now that we're not having to go to schools and parents aren't spending their weeks at businesses and places of employment. So I just think if you can keep this in your mind for today's practice, groovy, if you can try, you can fly. So choose to see the opportunities for today, for your practice, and choose to be mindful. Tune into the opportunities that exist around you in your home, in your community, and in your bubbles with your 5 people. To see what opportunities do exist there, and then just take stock of those things and be grateful, be mindful, be grateful. And still, if you're feeling a little bit, overwhelmed, then my go-to is get outside, and you can practice some of these yoga moves in nature. And there's nothing more beautiful and more profound than practicing tree pose or mountain pose when you're actually standing on the land and you can feel the breeze blowing against your face and catching your hair. So getting outside, there's a lot of good medicine on the land. I'm just going to bring this up closer so you can see it, because I know the elementary school librarian in me knows that kids are going to want to see the picture. So this is the book, Pete the Cat's Groovy Guide to Life. And this is the quote, and there's Pete the Cat flying the plane. So that's our inspiration for today. So we'll come to our mats again. And we're just going to come up onto our knees. And if you have your little unicorn friend handy, you can take your unicorn in your hands. And we're going to take a big breath in as the unicorn lifts, reaches up overhead. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale. And we're going to add on from here. So we're going to take the unicorn in one hand. And if you don't have anything in your hands, that's fine. You're going to create like a rainbow. Exhale as this big rainbow comes down either side. Each finger could be a different color. Come all the way down. Big exhale. And pass the stuffy to the other side. We'll inhale as you come all the way up. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. So next, we're going to come to sit on our mat. And we'll want one knee in front and one heel coming close to the knee. Doesn't matter what side you choose. And what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that this knee is going to kind of become like a rainbow that our little unicorn friend might like to fly through. So as we inhale, the leg comes up, and exhale as the leg comes down. Inhale and exhale. And we can include the arm and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And we'll just switch to the other side. So again, coming onto the knee, the toes are turning out to the side, and the heel comes to rest as close to that knee as it can. Sitting up nice and tall, bring the hand down to the mat. Inhale this arm up as this leg lifts. So we're stretching through that hip and in through the groin, connecting with our breath. Inhale as we rise. Exhale as we lower. One more time. And exhale. Beautiful. And we'll come up onto our knees now. So this is sitting in hero pose. So hero pose, we come to sit down on our calves. You can have the toenails pressing into the mat or the ground, or you can get your toes propped up and just reach around and help those baby toes to come and separate and come down to the mat. This is a great toe opening stretch. And then we just can experiment with how far we can come down. So as you exhale, you lower and come to rest here. And you hang out here. And if this is too much, then you can just drop down onto the tops of the feet. So from here, we're going to imagine that we have a different color attached to all of our fingers. And I'm just going to use some juggling scarves to help with the imagination of colors. So what we're going to do here while we stretch those toes is we'll inhale those arms up, imagining those colors coming from your fingers. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale, and you're gonna look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, imagining all of those colors. Exhale, coming to rest. And now to stretch it, finish this stretch for those feet. You're going to untuck the toes, come forward into a tabletop, and just tap out the feet. That's a fun one. That's a fun one to teach others. So next we will rise up to standing, and so coming into mountain. And our mountain pose, just marching up those feet, imagining roots growing up from the toes and the heels. And I just like to start off, especially if it's a morning practice and bodies and minds are still waking up, just rocking back and forth, feeling, checking in with the balance. And it just sort of serves as massaging the feet and the toes. And when you come back, try and separate your toes. See if you can do that. You can imagine, just as we did with the fingers, each having a color, perhaps the toes have a color. And then let's come to mountain. So the feet can come together and arms come to rest at our sides, palms turning to the front. So mountain pose, we want to shift your gaze and just look down in front of you. Or you can close your eyes. And if you close your eyes, you may begin to feel your body sway from side to side. Just acknowledge that if that happens in your body. If it doesn't happen in your body, that's okay too. So just feeling grounded here. Begin to let yourself imagine about what it would be like to be out hiking on a mountain today. Things might you see, what might you hear, what might you smell, just connecting with all of your senses. And from here, we'll open our eyes, just gently blinking them open. We're going to come into tree pose. So a tree pose, lifting one knee and turning it to the side, and the heel can come to rest at the ankle. Arms come out to the sides for balance. If you're feeling like you can do a little bit more today, then just resting the sole of the foot anywhere along that leg that's grounded. So this might be your medium tree. If this is your baby, this might be your medium. And then if you fall out, just smile and just come right back in. And maybe if you're feeling really strong today, maybe you want to try the great big tree and place the sole of the foot even higher on that thigh. So choosing whatever serves you today. And let's inhale, growing those arms up. Imagine tracing those colors of the rainbow through the sky. And then, because we are in a mountain, and there's trees on this mountain, and there's the majestic unicorn on the mountain, I'm just going to begin to sway from side to side. Just testing your balance. Imagine those roots growing out from the toes and the heels, connecting with the earth. Let's inhale as we rise, reaching for the sky. Exhale as we slowly lower back down. You can just pedal out those feet. And we're just going to march a little more as we hike through this mountain, and we're going to discover another tree. Perhaps this one is a birch tree. We're going to come into tree pose on the other leg. So just taking stock. These balancing poses can be very different from one side to the next, or even just one yoga practice to the next. Oftentimes one side may be a little bit easier for you. So just choosing a place where you feel challenged, but also comfortable. Let's inhale those arms, reaching up overhead. Just imagine that little unicorn walking around those trees. And let's challenge ourselves here. Let's inhale as we look up, seeing if you can shift that balance. Oftentimes when you change your drishti or your focal point, your balance can be challenged. So if you fall out, smile, maybe laugh, and then just come right back. Beautiful. Inhale, reaching tall with those fingers. Exhale, lowering down. And just marching that out. Beautiful. So now we're just going to widen the legs a little. And hands can come to the hips. We're going to imagine we have like a hula hoop. We're just going to stretch out those hips. We're making our way to come into a ragdoll, switching directions. Inhale as you move through the front part, exhale as you move through the back. And we'll come up nice and tall. Inhale those arms reaching up overhead. And exhale, swan dive. Arms come out to the side. We begin to hinge down, forward, straight back. And arms are just dangling between the space between our bodies and the mat. Inhale, let's place our hands on our shins, nice flat back. Exhale, folding forward, perhaps releasing hands down to the mat. Perhaps fingertips are touching. And if they're not, that's okay too. And then just begin to sway from side to side, just imagining a gentle breeze blowing through your space. Inhale and exhale. And then coming to stillness, let's inhale, place those hands on your shin, nice flat back. Exhale, hinging forward. We're just going to check in with our head now. So with the head, crown of the head reaching for the floor, just begin to gently shake your head, yes. Breathing here. And then come to stillness. And then shake your head, no. Coming to stillness. And let's inhale as we rise all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. Hands come to reach overhead. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. Beautiful. All right, so for the next yoga pose, we are going to, just one moment. We're going to come to stand on our mat with our feet wide apart, toes pointing out. So if you're on a yoga mat, you're pointing to the corners of your mat. And we'll inhale, the arms come reaching out to the sides. Stay here for a breath. And here's where you can imagine that little unicorn is doing a figure 8 between the legs. Perhaps your unicorn is a Pegasus and it's flying around your space. Let's inhale to bring the arms the rest of the way up, reaching overhead. And exhale, we're going to hinge forward. Hands can come to rest either at the feet or they can come in front of you. So we're just stretching out the backs of the legs now. And even through the back, releasing the weight of the head. And so from here, you can begin to do this little shifting of movement. This can feel really nice. So if your hands come forward, and you can get them on the mat. If you need to, you can bend your knees a little too to get down. And what you do here is you just shift from the hands back to the feet. Shift forward as you inhale. Exhale as you come back. Being careful, you don't want to lose your balance and fall backwards. So just being as much in control as you can while still challenging your body, your balance, and your strength. And then we'll come to stillness here. Let's inhale as we rise up, engaging those core muscles. Exhale, hands lower down. We're going to inhale back into that star stance. So nice star. And from here, actually I'll show it from here. From here, we're going to inhale. And then exhale, we're going to bring opposite hand to opposite leg. Inhale as we rise up. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We'll do that one more time on each side. And exhale, arms down. We're going to heel toes, feet together. And marching out on your mat. And you can shake your legs out too. That feels really good. And then we'll try another fun balancing pose. So what you need to do for this pose, you can have a chair or a wall handy to help. We're going to come onto one leg and we're going to take hold of the ankle and just stretch the front of the leg there. I'm going to inhale as you bring the arm up overhead. So this would look this way. And you just want to bring your knees together. And again, imagining the roots growing out from the toes and the heel. And then if you want to challenge yourself, you're going to imagine that there's a flower on the ground in front of us. You're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we bend down to pick that flower. And if you fall out of your pose, just chuckle, finish picking that flower, and come right back in. I think it's really important to have fun with our yoga practice. We don't have to take everything so seriously all the time. Exhale, shake those legs out, shake those hips out, and we'll get ready to practice with the other leg. Again, just observing if things are different from one leg to the next. Taking hold of that ankle or foot, bringing the knees nice and close. Inhale, arm up, reaching for the sky, fingers spread wide. Back a little. And when you're ready, if you choose, as you exhale, we're going to bend down and pick up that flower. Imagine this time what type of flower it is, what color it is. And exhale, release. You can just shake out those legs. Lovely. All right, we're going to make our way down onto our mats. And we're going to come into tabletop. So tabletop, we're going to have our hands on the mat, shoulder width apart, knees are hip distance apart. We have a nice flat back. And if you have a pillow close by, you can place the pillow on your back just to feel the support here. And we're going to begin to move through a few cat-cows. So as we inhale, we arch the back and the crown of the head comes down. Exhale, coming into cow, belly comes down towards the mat and we gaze up towards the sky. Inhale, pushing hands and tops of the feet into the mat as we arch your back and release the head. And rising up into cow. Exhale, coming into cat. And we'll do 5 more of these. Just following your breath here. And if your pillow or stuffy falls off your back, that's okay. You can either leave them off or pick them up and put them back on. One more here, inhale and exhale. Coming back to that tabletop. You still have a teddy or a pillow on your back, just removing that. And we're going to come into child's pose. So if you have your little unicorn friend close by, you take hold, place it in front of you. We're going to bring our knees together. They can be slightly apart. We're going to exhale to begin to walk our hands away and towards that unicorn and lower our bodies down. We want to bring our forehead down to the ground. And if that's not possible, we can stack our fists and place our forehead on those stacked fists, like so. Or we can come into child's pose like so. And we'll just stay here for 5 breaths, just lowering the hips down towards the heels or the ground behind you, and just releasing the arms, the hands, and head down towards the mat. And on an inhale, we'll begin to slowly rise up as you walk those hands back towards the knees. And then you can just place your hands on your thighs, just giving yourself a little massage on the fronts of the legs. So just a little word about this pose. If you're practicing and you've got a little brother or sister or even if there's an adult watching the video or practicing along, to invite a child, one of your children, to come and lay over top of you when you're in child's pose can be really, really amazing. Just to experience the weight and support of your loved one resting on top of you. It's a pose that I love to practice with my daughters. So just a note about size, to be mindful of the different sizes, because the person underneath wants to be able to comfortably support the weight of the other person. Because what will happen is their bodies will initially maybe sort of resist the extra weight that's placed on them, but then it will surrender and it will stretch and release. So the longer you hold the pose with that other person resting on you, the more beautiful it can become, and your breath may begin to sort of synchronize. You may begin to start to inhale and exhale together. So yeah, that's a nice fun one to come into. And just a note about them getting into the pose with you, they need to do so very gently. They need to lower down very slowly and gently, so as not to hurt the person that's down on the ground. But I've seen children practice that together with partners, and it's just beautiful. All right, so we are going to come to sit with our legs out in front. And again, if you're practicing with a little unicorn, just placing that in front, legs come together, just popping those knees. I've placed the unicorn there, you can't see. So just popping those legs, releasing any tension. And we're going to windshield wiper the feet from side to side. And just this time, inhale as you spread the toes wide. Exhale, release the feet, wiggle the toes. Inhale, spread the toes wide. Exhale, wiggle the toes. Inhale, toes spread wide. Exhale, wiggle the toes. All right. So we're going to take one of our legs, practicing with my left leg here. We're going to just tuck it back behind us. Now we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to exhale as we begin to hinge forward. Toes reaching back towards our bodies. And we want to lower down, belly, chest, and then forehead. And just breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. So perhaps as you begin to stay in this pose and you feel your body relax, perhaps you can walk those hands further towards the feet. Otherwise, they can rest on the shin, they can rest on either side of the leg, or they can take hold of the toes or either side of the foot. So choosing what is comfortable for you today. And just continuing to connect with that breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale as we rise up. Bring the legs forward and tap them out. Wiggle the feet from side to side. Do whatever you need to find that place where you feel the release. And we'll set up on the other side. So just tucking that sole of the foot back by the leg, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale the arms up. And exhale as we hinge forward from the hips, lowering down, belly, chest, and then forehead. Toes are pointing back towards our bodies. Hands can rest on the shins, either side of the mat, or they can rest on the toes. Breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. While you're hanging out here and just breathing into this pose, just allow your mind to daydream a little. Perhaps it's thinking about unicorns walking through the forest. And perhaps it's thinking something else. Inhale. And as you exhale, we'll slowly rise up, releasing, tapping at those legs, wiggling the feet from side to side. We're going to come into a windshield wiper pose now. So to come into this pose, we want to sit comfortably on our mat, bring the legs out to the sides, feet are about hip width apart, knees are apart, hands come behind us. We're going to have the fingertips pointing towards our bodies. Inhale, pushing into those hands. Shoulders fall away from the ears. And as we exhale, we'll bring the knees down to one side. Inhale as we rise through center. Exhale as the knees come to the other. So again, perhaps you're tracing a rainbow with those knees, and perhaps your unicorn is flying through that rainbow or walking through it. Just connect with that breath. Inhale and exhale. And if you're wanting a little bit more of a challenge, as you exhale, you can stay here. Then inhale, lift those hips up, pushing into the hands. And inhale as you come through center. Exhale, lowering those knees down. Inhale, pushing up, lifting the hips up. Exhale, lowering down. Do that one more time each side. Exhale, lowering down, coming back to center. And we are going to come to sit comfortably. And we're just going to do a little hand exercise. So you need to bring your unicorn close by. Just going to bring our hands together, just begin to rub them together, creating that heat and friction. And then just begin to squeeze the hands and squeeze the wrists. So we're just doing a little gentle massage. And you can twist out the forearm. Make sure you switch into both hands. Spending any extra time anywhere where maybe you feel a little tension from our yoga practice. And then we'll bring the hands out in front. We're going to inhale as we make fists. Exhale as we spread the fingers wide. Inhale. Exhale. So what I like to imagine here is that we've got glitter in our hands and we want the glitter to go across the room. So inhale as we scoop up the glitter in our hands. Exhale as it goes flying across the room. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. We're going to just shake that off. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring our hands together and we're going to just practice some circular movements with our hands and wrists. So as we inhale, we'll bring the hands down. So the back of the hands come together and around, like so. So this is lotus fingers in yoga. So bring the hands to prayer. Inhale, turn around, and exhale. And you can open to lotus. Beautiful lotus flower that grows in the muddy, muddy swamps. Let's do that one more time. Hands to the prayer. Inhale, exhale. There we go. Lovely. All right, so what we're going to do next is make our way into comfy Shavasana. So putting any socks on, a sweater, grabbing your comfy blanket or your tissue or eye pillow to place over your eyes. And we're just going to get comfy, lying down on your back. You have your hair up in an elastic. Sometimes that can be really comfortable to take your hair out. Take off glasses, take off any jewelry or anything that's restricting. And we'll just come to lie down. And if you have a pillow handy, place the pillow under your head. Or if you have some low back pain today or tenderness, you can place the pillow underneath your legs so the pillow can come and rest here. So lowering down, getting nestled in, getting nice and comfy. And another little tip is if you're practicing with a blanket, you can lift your feet up and tuck the edges of the blanket in and around. Make yourself a little cocoon, like a little caterpillar makes themselves. So if you practice with glasses, you can take those off. Place a tissue or an eye mask on your brow. And then we'll just exhale as the back of the hands come to rest on the mat. And we're just going to return to our natural breath here. And while you're lying here, just imagine your body becoming heavy and sinking into your mat, or your bed, or your sofa, whatever you're practicing on today. Just allowing your bones to become heavy and your body just to melt down into the ground, much like it does when you lay on a sandy beach or when you lay in the snow, just feeling your body relax and let go. And if you find your mind is really busy in thought, just acknowledge those thoughts. Imagine them attaching to a cloud and just allowing the thoughts on those clouds to drift from one side of the mind to the next, not paying them any particular attention, just acknowledging them as thoughts that arise. If you find resting in Shavasana for an extended period of time to be quite challenging, another trick that often helps young people is to repeat the words inhale and exhale as you go through those actions. Inhale as you breathe in, and exhale as you breathe out. Just silently repeating those in your mind and seeing if that just allows you to just relax and be a little more present in this rejuvenating closing pose. We'll lie here for one more minute. And inhale, nice deep breath in, belly rising to the ceiling. And as you exhale, you can gently begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Make little circles with your wrists and your ankles. Begin to rock your head from one side to the next. Inhaling as you move to one side. Exhale as you move to the other. Just one more time. Inhale, coming back to center. We're going to walk the soles of the feet in towards our body. Hug those knees into our chest and just rock from side to side. Here a nice little massage across the back. Come to stillness. Lower those legs down. We're going to inhale the arms up and out past the head. Coming into a full body stretch, stretching those fingers and toes in opposite directions, perhaps imagining different colors, your favorite colors shooting out from the fingers and toes. Exhale, release, just sliding those arms back down to your sides. And we'll inhale as we roll over onto our side, make a little pillow for our head with our arm. And when you're ready, inhale as you rise up, letting your head be heavy and the last thing to lift. And we'll come to sit in comfortable seated position and to close the practice. We'll bring our hands to our knees. Inhale, bringing the fingertips down towards the ground, imagining those colors, the colors of the rainbow or your favorite colors coming out from the hand. And we will, let's grab the skirts. We will inhale as the hands rise up. Exhale, lowering down, bringing those hands to prayer. Thumb comes to rest at the heart. I'd like to thank you all for joining this little unicorn-inspired yoga practice. I'd like to thank our Aboriginal Sports Circle for sponsoring this fun practice, and I wish you all well. Stay safe and try and get outside today wherever you are. Namaste.
Thank you, Natasha. That was fun.
Yeah, thank you. And drink lots of water.
Will do. Yeah, don't forget to get back to me with Arctic Panda and as well as what you would like to do next week then.
Yeah, definitely. I'll go and talk to the Arctic Panda right now, and I'll send you a text.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Have a great day. Bye.